Okay, so the last thing we should check if we want to be 100%, correct about how we do things is whether or not this email that they're sending us is valid, okay? So they could send us something that, isn't the actual email address. So we need to check if it's valid. Now, how do we do this? Because there's so many different combinations that could be valid. So we need to check all of them, right? Somehow. So in order to do that, we can use something that's called regular expressions, okay? And regular expressions are a very, very useful way of trying to match strings against different combinations, okay? So let's go to this website here, okay? It's called regexpal.com. Now, regexpal allows you to visually inspect your regular expressions, and we're going to learn the very basics of regex right now, okay? So essentially, what you have to give the regular expression is a pattern, and a pattern is basically telling the regular expression what characters you expect to see and how many of them, okay? So let's say I want to test whether a string contains, a sequence of 2 letters, any given 2 letters, okay? Well, I can create a regular expression by opening these square brackets and inside typing I want to test whether they have the letters from A to Z, lowercase, and I'm also going to allow uppercase, so A through Z, uppercase, and I'm going to say it needs to be 0 to 2 characters long, okay? So now I can just type in any string I want and see if this matches, okay? This is a test, for example. And here we see it's matching this first 2 in a group, then the IS in another group, the second IS in another group. The A is matching because we said from 0 to 2 characters, so it's also matching. Then this is another group, and finally this is another group, okay? Now let me type in, for example, my email. gmail.com. Now we see here it's not matching the period because we didn't allow the period. So let's allow the period and put it inside here. Now it's matching. And it's not matching the @ sign because we also didn't allow it. So let's add it in, and it's allowing the @ sign. So now it's basically matching everything and just grouping them 2 by 2, okay? So let's say we want it up to 3 characters long. So you see it's changing. Now it's matching up to 3 characters. Let's say we don't want to allow 1 character. We want to allow from 2 to 3, okay? So we see it's not matching the leftover characters, okay? So essentially, hopefully you're getting a feel of how regular expressions work, okay? I'm going to provide you with a regular expression because regular expressions are kind of like a complicated topic. So I'm just going to paste in the regular expression we're going to be using, and we will see how this works, okay? So let's see what's happening here. Well, any given email has something, some text, okay? Then the @ sign, a domain, and then a .com or extension or whatever you want to call it, okay? So you see this email is matching. Now what's happening here? Well, here we see the @ sign, okay? So we're expecting something before the @ sign and something after the @ sign, okay? So what are we expecting before the @ sign? Well, we're expecting letters from A to Z, lowercase, letters from A to Z, uppercase, numbers from 0 through 9, underscores, periods, pluses, and minuses, okay? And this plus sign is telling we're expecting from 1 to any amount of characters, okay? So at least 1. Then we have the @ sign, and after the @ sign, basically the same thing. A through Z, lowercase, uppercase, numbers, 0 through 9, and dashes, because domains don't have lowercase, any, different types of characters, okay? And then we need the period. So we need to test that there is a period to say what extension it is. And then basically we need to again test whether there are some letters, be it lowercase or uppercase, and numbers, okay? After the extension. Don't worry in too much detail about how this works, This is essentially the idea is this, okay? We're testing whether a pattern matches, okay? So let's go ahead and implement this right now, okay? I'm going to close this tab and go back to our PyCharm. And I'm going to say email validation pattern is equal to, okay, the string here. And now I need to test whether or not it matches. But to do that, I first need to import the regular expression library. So import RE, okay, it's regular expression, short for regular expression. And now I need to test if it matches. So if re.match, and first here it's hinting me that I need to provide the pattern. So this will be email validation pattern, and with what string I want to match. So this will be the email the user has provided us. And if it does, then I'm going to create the user and I'm going to print my JSON. Otherwise, I need to return a status 400 and tell the user that the email is not correct. So status is equal to 400, and JSON response is going to be created is going to be false. Title is going to be the email is not valid, and the message is going to be please enter a valid email address. Okay, and actually here I've just realized that PyCharm is hinting us that we're not using the JSON response or the status, and this is because we left the self.json response inside this else. Okay, so see how it's indented in this level. So all we need to do is just indent it one level down. Okay, and now it's complaining that the status is not defined everywhere. So let's go ahead and define just a default status somewhere here, and now this error should go away. Okay, fine, it's gone away. So let's see if this works. Let's go back and try and register a email that doesn't exist. Okay, the email is not valid. Please enter valid email address. Great, this is fantastic. It's working.